Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to talk about this Game Rant article questioning how much will Hayden Christensen be in the Ahsoka show. Context, before I go into the video, if I sound a bit off and if you guys hear me like sniffing, like sniffing a lack of better term, and coughing a lot, I'm battling this bug. Battling this bug, trying not to push myself too hard, but I still want to make this video, so let's get into the mix. The Star Wars franchise has yet another busy year in 2023. The Bad Batch currently airing on Disney Plus. Meanwhile, other series like The Mandalorian, Skeleton Crew, and Ahsoka are all scheduled for this year, as well as, interestingly, all the live-action shows of 2023 are set in the Mando mini-universe. The Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni has teased the group of interconnected shows all share one borderline narrative, the Book of Boba being the first example of this. Not too much is known about the Skeleton Crew. I also have some touchy production issues and star Jude Law. The other series debut is, of course, Anakin. I'll jump quick back. So the latter show, in the little better known, with an announced cast that includes Rosario Dawson and Natasha Liu Porcido, among others. Although not officially announced by the studio, Dawson let it slip last year that Hayden Christensen would be reprising his role as Anakin Skywalker Darth Vader yet again. The questions of fans' mind is how much Christensen will appear in the new Star Wars series. Given that Dawson stated his return so far in advance, and the fact that many trade reports in the industry have confirmed as much, it seems likely that Hayden Christensen will have a sizable amount of screen time. As of now, Ahsoka appears to be a pseudo sequel of Star Wars Rebels, was also developed by Dave Filoni. The presence of Porcido as Sabine Wren, a key character in the animated show, appears to confirm as much. Some footage at Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim, California, in 2022, also revealed that presence of Harrison Nola, who is reportedly played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is also, interestingly, the partner of Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, Ian McGregor. Ezra Bridger has also been casted, and an appearance by Thrawn seems to be inevitable, especially given that he was name dropped in the Ahsoka-centric episode of The Mandalorian Season 2. Beyond the Rebels connection, the series definitely seems to have a broader story than just After all, it's that. After all, it's about Ahsoka, who was around long before the Ghost Crew came together to help fight the Empire. Hayden Christensen's presence appears to confirm as much, as his character was such a massive part of Ahsoka's early days and training as a Jedi. The duo spent several seasons together in the animation, with Anakin and Ahsoka's master and mentor throughout her training. Even beyond that, and even after Anakin turned to the dark side, he continued to have a large impact on Rosario Dawson's hero. As the two fought in animation during the era of the Empire, it was that battle that Ahsoka appeared to meet her end, but the World Between the Worlds subplot ensures she lived on. It's also a distinct possibility that those sort of mystical force elements comes into play in this show as well. Regardless of the story, everything with all the everything will all center around the character of Ahsoka. This includes Anakin, and the fact that he has such a strong bond with her means he could be in the show quite a lot. There's also a fact that Ahsoka has the potential to show different eras, including the Clone Wars and a younger version of the Jedi hero, or even set in and around the events of the original trilogy. The Obi-Wan Kenobi show did not feature any Clone Wars flashbacks, so to the surprise of many, but it's entirely possible that they were being saved for the 2023 series. After all, Filoni was the showrunner of the Clone Wars, and it would make sense to leave those sequences to him. Beyond that, Hayden Christensen might just appear as a Force Ghost as well, meaning even more potential screen time. He has appeared in the Afterlife only once so far, in the special edition change to Return of the Jedi. Interestingly, the scene came out as George Lucas used test footage shot for Anakin's outfit in the final film of the prequel trilogy. Ultimately, the footage found more of a purpose as Anakin's Force Ghost look, and it appears that might not be the only time the character's spirit returns. So that is interesting. I didn't even know that aspect, that the whole Anakin's Force Ghost was footage was a test footage for Revenge of the Sith. That's interesting. However, with Ahsoka set in primarily take place after the events of the original trilogy, and the fact that fans know Anakin's Force Ghost was around and occasionally communicating with others, it seems likely the audience might get a look at a different version of the character in that form. Star Wars 2023 is certainly a busy one, just as it was last year. In 2022, the Book of Boba, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Andor all debuted. All of these series are currently available to stream exclusively on Disney Plus. Before the Ahsoka show, though, The Mandalorian Season 3 is next up and scheduled to release on March 1st. Which I'm sad they pushed Mandalorian back a whole week. But I've heard that, because I've seen 3 videos talking about this. 2 of them were Star Wars Theories videos, and the third was Star Wars Makes. And how this show is going to potentially use the road between roads to create a potential multiverse aspect. And I don't know how I feel about the multiverse being in Star Wars. I like the character of Anakin. I think that character of Anakin is one of the most compelling characters in movie history. I will be more open. I was trying to find the right word. I'll be more open if, I don't know, if Anakin was a Force Ghost. And because Ahsoka going back in time, creating a potential multiverse, I'm not really into. The most benefit you can say a multiverse will bring to Star Wars is that now you can say whether or not Legends was considered as Legends is now canon, and the sequel trilogy is just like the Disney sequel trilogy is in its own thing. That some can say that the sequel trilogy is Legends, and what Legends is canon. So you can really say, like, pick what is your canon. And technically nobody would be wrong there, but at the same time I don't want that as well. Because as sure it will fix some issues that the sequel trilogy has made, but it will also create some as well. And I like said, I rather Anakin. We see Anakin as the Force Ghost. If we get any Clone Wars flashbacks, I don't mind seeing him in the Clone Wars armor. Same with Ian McGregor reprising his role as Obi-Wan. I wouldn't mind seeing Ian McGregor and Christensen come back to play their respective roles, and see the younger actress as my screen goes black. Sorry. Sorry if was a weird pause. But I wouldn't mind Ian McGregor reprising his role as Obi-Wan, Hayden Christensen reprising his role as Anakin, and whoever they got to play the younger version of Ahsoka to be Ahsoka in these Clone Wars flashbacks. I think it'd be cool. And I think this could also like potentially be a way to incorporate like Samuel L. Jackson to reprise his role as Mace Windu, because I know he's been wanting to for like years. And it's a shame that he didn't get to reprise his role as Mace Windu. And then like the 2 episodes that Mace Windu was in Tales of the Jedi. So seeing Mace Windu or Samuel Jackson reprise his role as Mace Windu in these flashbacks could be a fun thing. Flashback / Force Ghost, I wouldn't mind seeing Anakin Skywalker. I really wouldn't. I think that is what is potentially exciting me the most. Is to see the Hayden Christensen or Anakin and Ahsoka talking. Now, would this be like the first time Anakin has talked to Ahsoka, or has he talked to Ahsoka before as a Force Ghost? That puts a question in my head. But like I said, I would be up to see Hayden Christensen as Anakin again as a Force Ghost, seeing him and Ahsoka reacting, like talking to each other, and maybe who knows? Because the last time at this point that they've seen each other was when they fought on Malachor in Rebel Season 2, which was like 5-ish years, give or take, 5-10 years, and they fought each other. So I would really be interested to see what that conversation that took place. So I think that is the thing that excites me the most of the show. Because I've been a huge fan of Ahsoka since the movie. When the majority of fans were crapping on Ahsoka, I was a fan of hers. And I'm happy that now it feels like most of the fandom either like is most of a fan or even more of a fan of Ahsoka than I am, or just celebrates her. Like they like her, like they don't exactly hate her like they used to when the Clone Wars movie came out, but they'll celebrate her. They don't mind her, and I'm so happy that Ahsoka got that love. And Ahsoka proves with good storytelling, you can take the criticisms that people are saying about a character and make that character to be one of the most beloved characters in general. And I hope that, or that's one reason why I should say, I've been saying they should continue the sequels, like Rey rebooting those, Rey teaching Finn how to be a Jedi, her dealing with her difficulties, Finn, him getting trained to be a Jedi from Rey, him dealing with his difficulties, finding their place in their own respective series. Maybe get a Poe Dameron show, maybe. Him pretty much being on Han Solo, and then all 3 shows come together for like Rey and Finn shooting out for sensitives in the universe, and Poe Dameron is the pilot of the ship. In this case, could be the Millennium Falcon, or his own ship at this point. Who knows? Because I think that, like I said, Ahsoka's a good example of a character or something that's like was like had a lot of criticism, that had a lot of hate going their way, that got turned into something beloved for a lot of fans. And I feel like, I know the sequel trilogy is a hot mess. The Rey, Finn, Poe, Jedi thing that I was thinking of, if they execute it correctly, that, yeah, sure, the films will always be criticized, let's be real. But fans will have reasons, more like, have reasons. People who are critiquing the sequel trilogy will have at least some reason, or more reason, than the view that they might have. Say, I might not be a fan of the sequel trilogy, but this specific moment, or this specific show, I like this in the sequel trilogy, you know? And, I don't know. I went off a tangent that was kind of unrelated to Ahsoka. I'm excited for Ahsoka. I'm excited to see Hayden Christensen again. Like I said, I hope we see him as a, come back as a Force Ghost. And it would be really impactful if Anakin did not only show up as Force Ghost to talk to Ahsoka, but for Luke as well. Because the only time we see Anakin show up was in the end of Return of the Jedi, when Luke saw was looking out in the distance, and he saw Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Anakin as Force Ghosts. So I think having a conversation between Force Ghost Anakin and Luke could also be powerful in this show too. And the thing is, Ahsoka could easily bump into Luke, because they both know each other at this point, I'm presuming. So we could get like Ahsoka telling Luke stories about Anakin. Maybe in doing so, Anakin comes by, seeing his son, and the closest thing he has is to his sister talking. That right there could be powerful in itself. Who knows? If they put their cards right, yeah. Anyways, what do you beautiful people think? I'm going to stop rambling. Still fighting this book. I should not be talking for this long. Well, I have this book. But what do you guys think about this article? And anything that I might have said? Do you guys agree or disagree? Or in the middle? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you all. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. I will talk to you fellow just later. May the Force